Welcome back to the Sports News Analysis YouTube channel. My name is Mike. I'm continuing my Week 16 NFL previews and analysis. This video is for the game between the New England Patriots and the Baltimore Ravens. This game will take place in Baltimore. It comes in with a record of 8-6, tied for the second wildcard spot with the Dolphins, right behind Cincinnati in the AFC North. And you have New England at 10-4, leaders of the AFC East. With a win, they clinch the AFC East. They also can clinch the AFC East with a Dolphins loss or tie. These two teams very familiar with each other. They've played each other 6 times in the last 4 years. They've split those 6 games 3-3. Most notably, last year's AFC Championship game in which Baltimore defeated New England. So, these two teams are very familiar with each other. The coach is very familiar with each other. So it should be a highly contested game from that standpoint. That's why I think it's going to come down to the little things. One thing the Ravens defense does particularly well is stopping teams on third down. They're third in the league in that aspect. When the Patriots offense is clicking on all cylinders, what is one of their biggest strengths? Converting those third downs to elongate their drives and to go on those methodical, back-breaking drives that Brady and this offense have become known for throughout the years without the, they don't really have a down-the-field threat per se, but those dink and dunk, short to intermediate passes, peppering you down the field. How do they convert those third downs, again, versus a Ravens defense with the strengths that they have in that area? Also, the Ravens first in the league, allowing the least touchdowns running the football to their opponents. Is New England able to establish any kind of running game in this one? Should be interesting to monitor that. Okay? Now, the flip side, you have Brady going up against a Ravens defense that is absent, that does not have anymore Ed Reed or Ray Lewis. I know Ed Reed and Ray Lewis were not the best players on that Ravens defense last year. I get that. But from a game plan perspective, all the experience they had with playing against Tom Brady, I have to believe helped that Ravens defense. How does the absence of those two hurt them in that respect? Again, not necessarily the play on the field, but the game plan aspect. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out in this one. Where I worry about the Patriots defense is them allowing big plays. It's been a problem for them, it seems like a while now. Especially last year against the Ravens in that AFC Championship game, it was a big problem. Do they allow Flacco to get comfortable back there, get set in the pocket, and throw the ball down the field? That's what the Ravens offense wants to do. It's the hallmark of that offense. Okay, when you combine that with the Ravens' explosiveness on special teams, those are 2 areas I think the Patriots have to be sure on to really have a legitimate shot in this game and to keep the Ravens from piling up the points on the scoreboard. Flacco is wearing a knee brace. Seems to be okay, though. It hasn't really limited him in practice. Obviously, maybe some of his pocket mobility will be affected a little bit, but this is not a guy who scrambles anyway with the ball, so I don't think he's going to have a huge impact on him. I'm looking forward to this game, guys, because I want to see the new parts of that Ravens defense versus Tom Brady. I also want to see that Patriots offensive line and how they match up with the pass rushers of Baltimore between Haloti Ngata in the middle, plugging things up the middle, and then you have those 2 defensive ends, obviously, in Dumervil and Suggs. And Nate Solder had a 2nd concussion in a row against the Dolphins last week. You would think that would preclude him from playing. And, Solder, while he's had a little bit of problem in pass protection this year, is obviously, the Patriots' best option. He's their left tackle. If he now can't play, how does that impact that line as a whole, who has been sort of in a state of flux all season? And to lose Solder at this point could be real backbreaking, sort of similar to, when the defense lost Mayo. I think that was finally, what turned the tide for them. They've been playing a lot worse since. So you throw all this stuff in there, and I haven't even talked about the absence of Rob Gronkowski and how that affects everything the Patriots want to do on offense. I think eventually they'll adjust to life without Gronkowski, but when is that going to be? Is it going to be too late, okay, as they go into week 2 in their second phase here without Gronkowski this season? But again, you can never count the Patriots out. They have Brady. If they're in the game late, you know he's capable of taking the Patriots down the field in those last-minute drives. And I go back to that game plan that Baltimore has. How was it executed throughout the week? How was it planned throughout the week? And how do they carry out on Sunday without Reed and Lewis? This is just a fascinating game to me with all the subplots. I think in the end, Baltimore does what they have to do, and I think the Baltimore pass rush against that Patriots offensive line in a state of flux is going to be the huge difference in this ball game. I think they make Brady uncomfortable from the beginning. So I like Baltimore minus 2.5 at home to beat New England. Guys, let me know what you think. Hit me up in the YouTube comments. Hit me up on Twitter at SNewsAnalysis. I preview all the games, guys. I talk the NFL news all week. I'll be really ramping up the draft stuff here in the next couple of weeks. If you followed me last year during the NFL draft, you know I cover it wall to wall. So be sure to subscribe. Thanks for listening. Have a great night.